Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, and once again, welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time is going to be on Godzilla X Kong, Godzilla Kong, Godzilla and Kong, Godzilla Cross Kong. It honestly sounds like a fan fiction. Like the title just sounds like a ship name. Or, it's in the same way that someone might pronounce these. By the way, I cannot wait for that new Spy Family movie. I really hope that's good. I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways, with this film, Godzilla and Kong are back for a new adventure. And King Kong, living in the surface, has been told that something is going to be unleashed upon the world. And the characters that were in the last movie are also a part of this, as they have been told to, meet up with Kong and go to that center to, of course, well, I don't really need to fully explain the plot because you pretty much, you came here for Godzilla and Kong fighting off against other monsters together. Now, last year was a great year for Godzilla, and it was also a great year for, Last year was a great year for Godzilla. Not only was Godzilla Minus One such a big hit with critics and audiences, but even won an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Now, I'm not going to compare that movie to this movie, at least not that much, because that movie wasn't just a monster movie. It had elements of social commentary, while also having a really strong story and characters I actually really liked. That's not in this movie that much. The monster fights, yes, that is definitely there, but okay, I can respect the movie for actually trying to tell a story. I mean, in terms of the storyline, I feel like the most interesting aspects happen when Kong is on screen, because this feels more like his movie rather than Godzilla, because Godzilla is in the movie for like 20-25%, but do not worry, there is enough monsters to keep you engaged. I mean, there's a lot of King Kong, because he meets up with this, like, mini Kong, and he takes him to meet up with a bunch of other, Kongs that are just like him, only a lot smaller, giving it more of a Planet of the Apes vibe. Now, in terms of the human characters, the ones that were in the last movie do come back. The only one that I really found remotely interesting is Gia, like, the way she communicates with Kong. And, the performances from everybody, they're fine, but we came here for the monsters. Like, if you came here for fully well-developed characters, you're not going to get that. But honestly, it wasn't really something I was expecting. I expected, monsters trying to, bring it all out, just trying to throw in as much CGI action as possible. And while the movie has a fair enough runtime, I mean, when it comes to the human stuff, it doesn't drag on way too long, as it pretty much, when the movie starts up, it pretty much gives you what you wanted, but then kind of slows down a bit, but I'm not going to fully get into that. Bottom line is, if you just came here for monster fights, you're really going to get that. That's all that this movie remotely is, but for me, I don't really find it anything like, don't get me wrong, the fights were fun, it's just, they don't really do anything, like, fresh to, like, keep the story, like, fully engaging, even though it really tries to. I feel like, most people are just going to come for the monster stuff. And for someone who hasn't really gotten big into the Godzilla and King Kong franchise, I mean, don't get me wrong. For the most part, I've been enjoying this franchise that they've been doing. It's just, they aren't really movies that I see myself rewatching all that much. Like, the only time I actually saw them was when I saw them in the theater. And that's pretty much it. So, honestly, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. It's just, it's pretty much what I expected. Godzilla and Kong duking it out with other monsters, even though Godzilla isn't in the movie as much as Kong. It really feels more like Kong's movie, so I feel like it should be Kong and Godzilla, but none of the characters, other than Gia, were remotely interesting, and they have elements of comedy that do not work in the slightest. So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this film. All that I can say is I saw it, I had fun with it, but monster stuff and all that, that might happen a lot throughout the movie, but I don't really see myself rewatching it again, because, these are big CGI monster fights, and I I don't really find that as interesting as, you know, story bits or elements of action that, you know, involve human characters. That might just be me, but hey, it's no Godzilla minus one, but I didn't really expect it to be anywhere near the levels of that. I know, late on this video, and this was one of the big releases. It's been making a lot of money recently, but this is the week I move into my new place, so I am extremely busy on that. I just really needed to squeeze this in as soon as I possibly could, because, yeah, a lot of packing, a lot of, you know, reorganizing when I get there, so, yeah, but, hey, I had this review out. It's going to be crazy, because there are 2 movies coming out this weekend I really want to see, but I need to, whatever, I need to think out my plans more often. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.